Grafton hadn't resigned. There's a process. I'm glad to know that you wrote the letter because there's a process you got to follow. And you got to follow through the Secretary of State. Saying in a board meeting that you're quitting, that's not it. You have to have, you look on the website of the Secretary of State, I called them, there's no letter that Grafton has sent. They haven't received a letter. The only way he can resign, he has to send a letter, notarized, original copy, to the Secretary of State office. As of right now, Mr. Grafton is still on this board. And I noticed we never sent him any documents pertaining to this meeting, so how legal is this meeting? He is still a member of this board. And if you get on the website, it tells you what you got to do. So why did y'all send that letter? That's what I'm saying. You're the attorney. Why did you send that letter? And this man is still on the board. You sent it to the governor, but in reality, I talked to him this morning. They say there's no letter on Mr. Grafton, and he is officially, he still is on this board until they get a letter from him, certified letter saying, I quit.
Well, let me ask the question. What if he refuses? What if he doesn't
He
send the
has
letter?
to say, the governor takes him off. But he has the right, the spur of the moment. People make decisions hastily. They jump up and say something today, a few minutes, and then they realize they didn't mean what they say. We jumped the gun. And we got to get our own house in order. It seemed like people are being railroaded.
Nobody's being railroaded.
Well, what
the
do you
man stood up and said, "I resign."
But that's not the process.
He's,
I understand, Jerry. I understand you. But what I'm saying is, there's a process. We didn't follow the process. They should have waited until the man got the letter to the Secretary of State to say he quit.
I hear what you're saying.
So until that happened, we never should have did.
But my question is this: what if? So what you're saying is?
No, what the law says.
No. What I'm trying to understand what you're saying. You're saying how legal is this meeting? That's like saying the man got up and said, "I quit." We all heard him say it. Okay. Now I'm following what you're saying.
But it don't.
Wait. Let me say. He said, "I quit. This is my last meeting. I'm not coming back." He got up. He left. Okay. Now wait. It's on him to send the letter, and I understand what you're saying. Okay. But if he doesn't send the letter, what you're saying is we can't hire an executive director until the governor throws him off?
I'm not saying that. Process. Y'all took him completely out the process.
Well, he's a grown man. He said, "I quit. I resign." He got up and walked out.
Okay. Process the law.
Okay.
I'm just speaking by the process. We didn't follow the process. And the process is we should have waited until he got his letter in to the Secretary of State. He is officially still on this board as of right now.
I'm not a lawyer. I don't know that.
I'm just telling you what you are.
I am, and I am not aware of that. I can tell you
Well, you
that.
look on the website. That's what I'm telling you. We getting caught in these traps.
Well, he had notice of the meeting. Why isn't he here?
I didn't know we had notice of me.
It's on the website.
But I never CC'd.
If everything's on the website, it's on the website.
Well, let me tell you though. Everybody been CC'd but him. So I'm just saying. That's all I'm
It's
saying.
on the
Mr.
website.
The question I think that has to be answered though before we can move forward is the meeting appropriately called where it is posted on the website, but no written communication is forwarded to someone who apparently is still a member of the board?
I didn't understand what you said.
I said, the question is, can we legally have the meeting when it's posted on the website and no written notice was sent to someone who is apparently, I'm assuming what you're saying is correct, someone who is apparently still on the board?
Unless we have a rule that says that.
Well, that's what I'm
That's
asking.
what I would look at, because we've never had this happen ever. So I'd look at the rules real quick and see if there's a rule that the commissioners need written notice in order to come to the meeting, aside from the posting of the agenda. So I'll look through the rules.
So I think we had to resolve that first.
With regard to what Mr. Braxton alluded to, this exact same situation came up at the auctioneer's licensing board, and I have the recording of it. One member got so frustrated over being badgered in a meeting, he said, "You know what, I'm gonna make this easy on everybody. I'm resigning." He picked up his materials and he walked out. No sooner did he get out of the door, but one of the board members, Greg Bordelon, said, "Well, he's done." He said, "Can we?" And the chairman said, "No, it has to be in writing." Just what you said, he has to turn in his resignation to the governor. Until he does so, nothing is official. Greg Bordelon said, "Well, can't we take a vote to accept his resignation?" Legal counsel said, "No, you cannot." Just as he said, it's got to be in writing before it's official. That was approximately August of 2010, changed his mind, just as you just alluded to, and he remained on that board until January of 2012, when Governor Jindal told him he was not being reappointed for a second term. So that's just an experience that I had firsthand. I do have the recording of it, and he did stay on that board, even though he verbally said, I'm out of here, I'm done. He remained on that board for a year and a half. So for the benefit of what that's worth.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
And this is catching me by surprise, like it is y'all too, but I don't know that posting something on the website is giving notice when our rule says we have to give notice to all the members.
Well,
Well, if you post an application on the internet, that's giving notice that there's a vacancy. I mean,
Physically posting it as well as the website.
And granted, I came here to do this too,
I
but
understand.
But I mean, I just want to make sure we
to the extent we got to do it right, we got to do it right.
we got to do it right.
Yeah.
And that's one reason why we gotta communicate. If I knew you was writing that letter, I'd have told you right then you couldn't have done that. This board never authorized to write a letter. I assume, I said on board, you gotta be authorized to do it, you just take it upon yourself and done it. But the board needed to be aware that that's what y'all was doing.
Out of all fairness, you may have a whole lot more experience with the boards than
But if
anybody
you-
else does. I'm telling you, you keep saying, you keep referring to yourself as a businessman, which is what I am. We're two of the only ones on this board that aren't law enforcement or lawyers. When a grown man gets up and says, I resign, I quit, I'm leaving, twice, and does it, to the extent, as a reasonable individual, I assume he meant that. I assume he meant it.
I agree
Now,
with you.
again, you're absolutely right, obviously, that it's, we gotta follow the law, and that's fine.
And in the same token, if we would communicate, if people would communicate with me, I'd have turned back around and told you right now, you couldn't do that.
Okay?
But I didn't know anything about it until the next day. What was the such urgency to turn back around and do it? If you got 30 days, it's 30 days from that day that they get the letter. But it just went quick. That's why nobody communicates with me. Because I would have said, hey, you can't do that. My piece. I'm done. So y'all make the decision. You know, I'm just one.
Ms. Manzelli? Do y'all want to do it at 1 o'clock Friday?
No, I can't do Friday. But that don't stop what y'all want to do. I mean, I'll be your Wednesday. So we are going
Let's
to.
beat your argument, because the whole point of us rescheduling is so all board members could be here. So if you're not gonna be here because you can't do it, but we can still go forward, that's completely contradictory to what your entire diatribe was.
No, we can still have a quorum even if a board member can't do it.
Well, let's find a day that everyone is available.
Maybe that's gonna be hard.
It's going to be hard. Let's just leave it for Friday. If your schedule clears, I would prefer you to be here, but if you can't, you can't.
Wednesday's agenda will be really what today's agenda was.
Correct.
Yes.
Everybody's,
And then we'll do another one for Friday for what Wednesdays were supposed
All
to
right.
be.
We're just shifting it 2 days.
And while we're on the record, and so no one thinks it has anything to do with any of this, I may not be here Wednesday, but it has nothing to do with anything that's going on. But I do have notice of the meeting.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, anything further? Motion to adjourn.
Wait, before you do that, what are the odds you're not gonna be here Wednesday? Because I just don't feel comfortable with us going in this direction. You know what I'm saying? We're already down one board member, allegedly. Okay, now it's just, I don't feel comfortable if y'all aren't gonna be here. I mean, we're making a decision that arguably yours is gonna last past our tenure
I would
here.
hope so, yeah.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. So I just, if it means we gotta move this to a following week, you know, I just think it's too important to hope everybody can make it. You know what I'm saying? And look, I understand, this is getting popped at the last second, I understand, but, I mean, we all need to be here to do this.
I am currently scheduled to be in a trial on Wednesday.
Okay.
And unless there is a plea in that trial, I'm gonna be in the middle of a trial Wednesday afternoon, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you.
Would y'all like to move it till later?
I think we need to move it to next week or something and try again.
I'm unavailable next week.
Okay?
Yeah, everybody's stuff gets more conflicted the further we go from this week. That's the problem. do you think you could be out of trial by 5 o'clock?
I mean, that's kind of, you know.
I would hope.
You're asking me to guess, I mean.
I know, I
That's up to
understand.
the judge, that ain't up to me.
I understand.
The minute I get out of trial, I would come. But the problem is I am scheduled to be in a trial on Wednesday.
We'll leave it for 3 o'clock Wednesday.
Yeah,
And,
if I'm out, I'll come.
Okay. Okay. I make a motion to adjourn,
If we need one.
if this was a meeting.
If we got a second, then I suppose the motion carries and adjourn. Everybody good with adjourning?
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Meeting adjourned.